Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Here we are, ready for this new day. So it's an important day. Today, we're given very important, that of NOFAP and NORDS. There are quite a few variables at play that could lead to strong movements of volatility. So pay close attention, please, especially on Fridays. Let's preserve our psychological capital and our economic capital. So maximum caution. I was saying, a very special day. For this unemployment data, it could and will definitely provide clearer indications about the state of the American economy. From a technical standpoint, I jotted down a few things. So regarding the data, so let's say there's a volatility. I read expected to be very, very high, measuring Cool the Colle, and here we're tired. Even with a value, therefore a path, essentially, we are seeing values even higher than those recorded during the American elections. So this gives us an idea of what it could be, of what the volatility is. Be cautious during those moments, so pay maximum attention. Avoid, frankly, avoiding, unless you're doing it, well, by building some positions, with options. I don't trade them, but I just mentioned this because it's a pretty important point, to know that there's a lot of money at stake. So the volatility, for me, the expectation is very high. That said, yesterday was quite a day, a bit fluctuating. With the ongoing news that has been coming in for tariffs, especially regarding tariff policy. So it's a market, as we said, binary, precisely because of this moment of reorganization, restructuring on a global level. And this obviously means, as we said before, trading days, different from what we were used to experiencing recently. That's why I've been telling you this for a few days now. We need to adapt to this new shift. So with sudden directional changes, very high volatility and strong directionality, even on a negative day. In short, a recovery can happen of 200 to 250 points. In those moments, we can take advantage in every way. In short, these are ideal days for swing traders, for traders like us, at least like me. These are days, full of opportunities, that give us the chance, even if you might mess up a trade, to recover. The important thing is to stay balanced, centered, well positioned, having clear ideas about what is the type of operation we're doing, and above all, calibrating a strategy that allows us to manage our psychology, agitated and therefore calm. Okay, let's move on to trading after this brief introduction. From an operational standpoint, let's start with the neck. Yesterday, there was yet another slight dip in the lows. We broke, even though I don't really think it was anything intimidating. So the low from yesterday. Anyway, we're in an area. It's quite important. In short, all of this, sets the stage for another bearish push. At the moment, we are working above the HW level, within the range of the BC3 levels. It's likely, that the morning, especially in light of this rather important data, as we mentioned earlier, but it stays within this trading range, created by the BC3 levels, then, to take a direction. In short, it's hard to make predictions about how the data might be interpreted and what the actual data will be, especially because some data has been revised downwards a bit. In short, it's an important and particular piece of data, today. In some ways, it could even be wise, in short, to stand there and be a spectator, in short, of this data, then maybe, take a position when the market has taken a clear direction. To this, that's what I think. No, I don't feel like it. In short, I don't want to put myself in situations where I can't manage things because, extreme volatility might come in driven by fear. I'm in a panic. I don't want to resign myself in these situations. That said, I repeat, so maximum attention. Let's monitor this range. We wait for the data, after which we can certainly have a clearer idea of what the developments might be. I repeat, downwards, in Q Nasdaq targets that I provided as extra levels this week. Frankly, I don't remember where I saved them, but we can easily derive them. So I put up an H1 chart. We broke this. Let's say we made a first wave. They came out here from this area of Passiamo. We made a first wave, a second wave. In short, a third wave of completion could easily bring the Nasdaq prices even to, in the first instance. Then after that, I'll show you a bit about what a level is that then. Also go on S and bit on SPX. In short, they more or less coincide with levels of a breakout. So the waves calculated for this downward movement. Yes, I was saying. So regarding the Nasdaq, the 19.5 level could be an easy target. In short, we broke this area here where we are working on the lows. So regarding the data, a spike in volatility could easily push prices lower. We'll see what happens. Let's move on. As I was saying to S, similar situation. Here too, yesterday, we touched the weekly lows. Downwards, we're working below the lows. In short, the expected weekly levels, even if just slightly, that's why I haven't updated you, because we're still right around these weekly levels. We'll see here too, we're at the levels, basically. Similar situation, I'll show you this thing on SPX that I mentioned earlier. Let's take a moment to remove these levels. This, in short, is a graph that I also presented in chat in a couple of shots. In short, this was the area. In short, this was the target area presented a little while ago, which was the A6150 area. From here, in short, a recovery, this one did it first or didn't do it first. This is a 4-hour chart. Let's say we had a nice first wave, a nice second wave with the retracement. So a third wave is coming in here that could probably bring prices right here. For today, in short, around 5,670, 5,665. So, in my opinion, it's an easy target. So this could be the target for this third wave. So maximum attention, in short, and let's evaluate carefully this opportunity from where the market might push. In that direction could be the right target for a day that might be expected, like today, to have high volatility. Okay. That said, regarding SP, the situation is similar. In short, the target here is, it's just around 5,685, 690. So we're there as a landing area for the potential start of this third wave that has momentum. In short, the second one has been completed. There was a bit of a bounce, a little bounce, and let's see if the third one develops. So let's say it's something projected. It's not yet actual. All right, let's move on to the other indices. Americans. Let's start with the Dow Jones, which, as I mentioned yesterday, has held up a little better. The situation, in short, hasn't gone to violate. They have continued to maintain these lows. Now it's also working above the HV level, inside of range level of levels BC3. So it's likely, in short, that it could also go down a bit, definitely, if the data doesn't turn out to be, well, the market read it well. In short, I don't know what it could be. In short, the data obviously, but it definitely seems to be reacting better at the moment, as well as that the Russell, which you see has still remained at the lows it reached. So within the range of the candle from Tuesday that we have here, especially this rise here. So this is Tuesday's day. In the end, Wednesday and Thursday have been in a sideways trend. So we'll see a little bit about the developments. So for also for the Russell, which I repeat, in my opinion, should be the one most ready for a recovery. We'll see if I'm right about this. Let's move on. I wanted to take a look at the DAX as well, which maybe in the last period we've been following it closely for the developments. In short, at the European level regarding this wave of war. In short, this stance taken by the European Commission, in short, we'll see what the developments will be. At the moment, the opening has been a downward, and we're already at the weekly lows. Here, we're right up against SD2. We'll see if this will be an important support area to look for a recovery. Definitely from SD1, a test from below is very likely because it is an area of resistance. We'll see about that here for Europe as well. These scenarios now about, in short, of rearmament. Initially, they definitely sparked a strong rally in the European indices, as we pointed out. But now maybe they're starting to face reality a bit more, because often these announcements of plans have turned out to be quite different in reality. In short, basically announcements that have remained just that. Because maybe the figures actually invested for, in short, to deal with the pseudo-frankly emergency are then actually smaller. We'll see, as always, we're behind, so let's look at what we have ahead. Here we see a look at commodities, starting with oil. This morning I saw it earlier, it seemed to be already bubbling. So much so that it broke the range of levels. BC3, what is C3 aiming for? It has recovered the VIX levels weekly. So it's likely that if it can find some push here, there's not much opposition. When it's reversed, there's a lot. It should easily pass the RD2 for maybe a test of today's put VIX area. Surely this could happen. Passed. Here, it has passed. This was the important zone, 6684, that were reported yesterday in the morning briefing. Having passed that, probably, well, this is the landing area. A first landing is certainly between the VIX levels and the max range. Let's move on to, they remain, well, still in this range, as I have pointed out several times. So we're basically working right around the middle part of the range so we can work comfortably, as I pointed out yesterday. So highs and lows in this area with entries in the lower part for long, and short at the upper part of this range, which is forming, well, within the larger kingdom that lasts for more days. So now the volatility on the instrument has decreased a bit, and so this causes the range to narrow gradually. We'll see later how direction, well, we will get out of this situation. Here we are also within the BC3 levels, even though we're about to break through them right now. So while we're doing this morning briefing, probably, well, there's going to be an attack on the RD1 zone. And we'll see if then, it goes a bit further. So we have the range, the maximum weight to them of weekly. So it could be the right day for a reattack on the upper zone of the range. So 2980, 3000. We'll see, as always, we don't make programs. Let's look at what we have in front of us. That said, I think I've said, well, everything there was to say, as for this morning briefing, as always, today I want to emphasize. So my suggestion is to stay light. Today is an important, crucial day with a lot of volatility is expected. Let's adjust our strategies and our market positions accordingly. As a result, as always, follow me on social. I invite you, as always, to leave a like on the video to make it more indexed. We'll catch up later in the chat. Thanks everyone for your attention and happy trading to all.